Retired Marine Colonel Mark Cancian is joining us now. He is a senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies who spent years studying nuclear weapons development and nonproliferation activities for the Department of Energy. Colonel Cancian, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, so let's talk about that strike on the power plant. How big of a victory is that for Putin?
Well, this was part of his push north out of Crimea. The power plant was in the way. Apparently, some Ukrainian forces were defending there. Using firepower on the plant was really quite reckless. Fortunately, the design of the plant is much safer than Chernobyl, so the possibility of an extreme disaster was very low, and much of the rhetoric about that was probably misplaced. Nevertheless, it's dangerous to attack nuclear power plants, and as Ukraine and Russia have negotiations, it might be worthwhile making these neutral zones so we don't go through this again.
Well, absolutely. In your intro, we say that you spent years studying nuclear weapons development. So, Ukraine's energy secretary is saying that there's no signs of elevated nuclear levels since that attack. Hopefully it remains that way. But we do know early reports of that strike sent Asian markets spiraling. How big of an economic threat is this?
Well, now that things have stabilized, I don't think there's much of a threat. Apparently, they're shutting down the reactors to reduce the possibility of some sort of accident. That's good. The problem is, of course, this supplies so much of Ukraine's electricity. So far, the Russians have not been shutting down utilities, but this might have a real impact on Ukrainian society.
Well, absolutely. So we know, okay, there's this nuclear power plant. We also know that Russian forces already captured Chernobyl. Of course, that is the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster. That was back in the 1980s. So what elevated dangers are there for combat on nuclear sites like these?
Well, combat on the sites always carries risks. And first, of course, you have the reactors themselves, although those are well protected. But very often you have nuclear materials in outbuildings, and if those spread, then you're going to have contamination on the site, which is very difficult to get rid of and could shut down the site and have long-term effects on Ukrainian infrastructure. So, as I say, it would be much better to declare these areas to be neutral zones, so we don't have threats in the future.
Well, and Colonel, eyes across the world are on Ukraine right now. Certainly, millions of eyes here in America. What is the impact on America? Can we take anything away from the U.S. Energy Department activating its nuclear incident response team?
Well, I think the responses show that the United States is watching events over there and is reacting quite quickly. That's very encouraging. We've also seen movement of troops overseas to reassure our Eastern European allies. So the government has been watching and reacting, and I think Americans can take some comfort in that.
And our last question for you here, and this may seem obvious, but what worries you most about this latest attack, or even going forward?
Well, what worries me going forward is that the Russians are continuing to move ahead, particularly in the south, where they've been able to break through to the Ukrainian defenses, and there's some possibility, of course, they may outflank the Ukrainian forces in the east. The other thing that worries me is that there'll be some incident between Russians and NATO in the west that causes some increase in tension. So far, both sides have been very careful, and we've seen that new deconfliction line, which is designed to prevent those kinds of incidents. Nevertheless, it bears close watching.
Absolutely. We certainly hope it will not escalate. Colonel,
thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.